What's going on, everybody? This is Kenny Cummins here, chilling with Kenny C, right here on TMV Cafe, bringing you entertainment to your ears. And joining me on the program is a wrestler here in Kentucky. He's from Elite Wrestling Alliance. He's representing the Ben Sharon brand.
Yes, sir.
All beef, no filler. The one and only Kenneth Gainz. That's a marvelous first name, by the way.
Thank you so much.
How's it go? I like the name. How you feeling, man?
I'm feeling pretty good, man. Actually, just got out of the gym. Had a nice little back day, lifted heavy. I do what I do. Feeling good to sit down here and talk to you, talk a little bit of wrestling, man. Appreciate you having me on.
Absolutely, man. So as I said on the introduction, you have become a regular for a Kentucky wrestling promotion called Elite Wrestling Alliance.
Yes, sir.
They do shows at Danville, Kentucky once a month. They become what I believe one of the fastest rising wrestling promotions in the state of Kentucky. And they got a lot to look forward to in the coming months. So EWA, there was a post from Elite Wrestling Alliance as of an hour ago, and it was actually an official statement from the EWA commissioner, who just so happens to be Benjamin Sharon. He's not only is he the man in charge, obviously, but he has a faction known as the Ben Sharon brand. Definitely one of the biggest factions, not just in Kentucky, but in the Kentuckiana, Midwest, etc. And in the EWA, it includes a fellow wrestler by the name of OG Ugly and yourself and Ben. And in this statement from Mr. Sharon, there's going to be an investigation on the circumstances surrounding the injury sustained by Tony Corral back in January of this year. Um, what are your thoughts on this statement from the EWA Commissioner Ben Sharon?
Let me first start off by saying we're not one of the biggest factions in the area, Kenny. We're the faction of the area. The Ben Sheeran brand is the most prestigious group in pro wrestling today. Look at the lineage, look at the members that have been in it. There's no denying that we run EWA and we run pro wrestling. First off, I got to start off by saying thank you, Ben Sheeran, for restoring order to EWA and running it only the way that he can. As far as the statement goes, I think everybody can agree Tony's absence from the match. There were questions regarding it. Everybody was wondering where Tony was at. So we've done a little digging into the situation, and it's safe to say a lot of things are going to come to light about this. And I don't want to say too much because Ben is the one in charge at the end of the day, and it's Ben's investigation to conduct and tell his findings of. But I think a lot of people are going to have some things to say about the things that have been uncovered here.
Yeah, pretty much. Obviously, when something like this happens, you got to get to the bottom of it to see what happened, what led to what, and Ben Sharon has the responsibility of trying to find out what happened, what went wrong, things like that. So I'm very curious to see how that turns out. Um, Speaking of Ben, he's got a lot on his plate with EWA in specific. Not only is he the commissioner of EWA, but he's running his faction that includes you and OG. And I talked to OG recently. He says that Ben has done a wonderful job. Um, I want to know what's your thoughts on Mr. Sharon? Not only is he the commissioner, but he's also running this faction that includes you and OG. He's double duty of sorts. What's your thoughts on all the responsibilities that Ben has?
Well, if anybody can handle it, Kenny, it's Ben. Look at Ben's credentials. You know, he's been running EWA for as long as I've been familiar with the promotion. I've been affiliated with EWA almost going on 3 years now. And from the beginning, I've always admired Ben's work, how he's ran the company, how he's handled the brand. The brand isn't some rinky dink faction, you know, with just that anybody can get into. Ben holds us to a high standard, and we, of course, perform to a high standard every single time we go out there. We don't really care about what the fans of EWA have to say about us because at the end of the day, it's all about the number one man in charge. That's Ben. As you said, he's the commissioner. He runs things, and he runs things well. Look at what he did to Birdo. He got Birdo out of there whenever Birdo was trying to take over and put Ben out of power. Yeah, there were times when the Ben Sheeran brand has had some infighting, but look what happened at the end of the day. Ben got everything back in order and he's back on top. So as far as Ben Sheeran goes, I couldn't be happier to be in the brand and be under the guidance of somebody like that. That's why every time I'm out there, Kenny, you hear me yell at the top of my lungs, "Thank you, Ben Sheeran. Thank you, Ben Sheeran, for the brand. Thank you for running EWA with an iron fist and honesty." And I mean, he's got everything. Ben is that guy. And without Ben, it's sure that EWA will crumble to the ground.
So I do recall the struggle, the power struggle between Ben and Berto a couple years back. That was back in the Richmond, Kentucky era.
Yes, sir.
And I was there at Frankfurt. I was there at Richmond, and I've been to some shows at Danville as well. I believe episode 2 of the February show is going to be coming soon.
Yes, sir.
So be on the lookout for that. Not only do they do live shows, but they got the episodes in 3 parts. So if you missed it, you can check them out. EWA on Elite Wrestling Alliance on YouTube, and
Every
check out.
Friday at 6 p.m.
Yeah, so check that out. Episode 1. You can check out uh, the Ben Sheeran's brands matchup they had from the February show, and their next show will be on March the 21st
Yes,
at the
sir.
Jenny Rogers Community Center, Danville, Kentucky. Couple notable names. I see Gaston LaRue, Ethan Heyer, Steel Wool, Adrian Alexander, Mike Howard, and a special guest, Kentucky wrestling legend. Wow, Woman of Wrestling star, former tag team champion Jessie Bale Smothers will be making her first EWA appearance.
Yes, sir.
So that is, and I believe she also has a seminar on that
Yep.
same day. So any aspiring wrestlers that wants to be a part of that, get in touch with EWA for more info. Um, so I feel like what you guys been able to do, because there was Alex Angel, there was Gaston LaRue from the Richmond area, and now we're in the Danville area. Now there's OG, there's you, there's Ben. And that's one thing I know about Ben. He goes for the top. He goes for someone that has that potential to emerge. Um, from your perspective, Kenneth, um, what are your what's the goals for you in particular? What do you want to see? What do you want to see more of the brand um as we approach the spring season? Are y'all in pursuit of gold, takeover, or of the whole promotion? What's the mindset for the Ben Sheeran brand as we approach these next few months?
Well, first and foremost, the Ben Sheeran brand is always focused on doing the best we can for Ben. When I say the Ben Sheeran brand, I mean OG Ugly and myself. We're always focused on doing the best we can in the ring, put it on the best performance we can for Ben, and making sure that we hold that high standard of the Ben Sheeran brand. Look at, like you said, you mentioned all the great names that have been in the Ben Sheeran brand in the past. I mean, Ben knows how to scout talent, and Ben always has his eye on more talent for the future. So as far as going into the spring season for EWA, the goal for the Ben Sheeran brand is going to be easy. It's going to be to stay on top. It's going to be to cement OG Ugly and Kenneth Gainz as the number one tag team, not just at Kentucky, but in the entire pro wrestling world. You've seen what we do in there, Kenny. We're in there, nobody can touch our stuff. We're two powerhouses. We're two big beefy boys. We're two of the biggest guys in EWA. You're looking at the biggest guy in EWA. And every time we get in there, the goal is just to smash, destroy, stay on top, and let everybody know who the number one faction in EWA is. And Ben being Ben, like I said, he's always got his eye on talent. He's always got his eye on the future. And I think a lot of people are going to be pleasantly surprised, maybe some unpleasantly surprised at the things that the Ben Sheeran brand has in store for the EWA fans.
Yeah, that's gonna Ben definitely like he's a target, obviously, because of his power and things like that. So a guy of his stature, he's gonna need people to look out for, to have his back. And I definitely seen that you and OG have gelled very well as a team. Y'all have gelled as allies of Ben, making sure that there's no shenanigans that comes in his direction. So whenever you go to a EWA show, the Ben Sheeran brand is always there in any way, shape, or form, and it's gonna be EWA's in for a wild year, another wild year in Danville and Central Kentucky all together. I'm looking forward to March and April. Uh, Speaking of April, they got the All Star Classic. They bringing
Oh,
that
yeah.
back, and I see some notable names on the show. Legendary Larry D will be there. NWA's Carson Drake will be there, and former TNA World Champion, former WWE Intercontinental Champion Ken Anderson, Mr. Kennedy, formerly known as. Um, how you feeling, man, about EWA getting some star power like a Jesse Bell, like a Myron Reed, like a Ken Anderson and Carson Drake, and Larry D? How you feeling about EWA getting these notable names into this promotion?
It's like you said earlier, Kenny. I mean, we're the fastest rising promotion in Kentucky right now. Every time that you buy a ticket for an EWA show, you can always be guaranteed that you're going to get a great show. You're going to leave happy. You're going to leave entertained. You might leave pissed off at the end of the night, but that's because you got a great show. You might have got something you didn't expect. Um, as far as the star power we have right now, the roster is amazing. I mean, just look at the talent. Every card is a banger from top to bottom. That's one of the main reasons that I wanted to start my career in EWA. When I first saw the EWA roster and EWA shows, I knew this is where I had to be a part of. Um, and we've only continued to grow. I mean, like you mentioned, those names like Jesse Bell coming to do a seminar, that's a huge deal. Like, and then Myron Reed. Myron just signed with AEW, and look where he just had an amazing match at. Not even what, 2 months ago?
Yeah.
EWA. He came out there, and everybody got to see the caliber of stars that EWA can bring in. We're very excited about the April show. Got some big names on there, like you mentioned, Mr. Kennedy. So that's going to be a show you definitely don't want to miss. EWA is definitely the promotion to watch right now. Um, the way it's ran, our fans, I don't particularly like a lot of our fans, but as far as wrestling fans go, we do have the best. I mean, you've been in there, you've heard how loud it is, you've heard how rowdy it gets in there. And as far as indie wrestling goes, just the passion of the fans there really is enough to get you in the building just to see how great of a show that happens. I mean, people don't go nuts and go crazy and get that dedicated to a product over a mediocre product. And that's something we are far from. EWA always puts on the best shows that you can get. When you pay your money for an EWA show, you are guaranteed to go home happy at the end of the night. Um, the people we've got there, the regular stars that we have, I mean, not just the people who are, special featured guests, things like the All Star Classic, the guys you're going to see there every single month, and girls as well, women of our women's division. Amazing. I mean, Lexi Green just had a great match with Brooklyn Ray. Brooklyn Ray just captured the EWA women's title in a great match. I'm sure she's going to be putting on some great matches in defending that in the future. Adrian Alexander, EWA world champion. He's only going to take on the best as it comes. So, I mean, I could go on and on about our roster. Mike Howard and Crash Out University. Mike's been there for a while. He just brought Crash Out University, his boys in. They've had a couple matches there. Those are two young guys that are going to be doing a lot in the business. It's Mass Mover Marcus Darby and Tay the Kid. Um, Tay is a crazy high flyer, which is something a lot of people love to see these days. Marcus, super strong guy, which I can respect. I mean, Ethan Hire, Gaston LaRue, Evil Nate, Alex Angel. The list goes on and on and on. Ace Carmichael, as much as I don't like him, I mean, I've been in the ring with Ace several times, so people obviously love him. And look at the roster from top to bottom, and there's nobody on there that is a weak link. You can pair any two people in our roster on any night of the week, any town in America, and you're guaranteed to get a great match. EWA, in my opinion, greatest thing going in pro wrestling right now. I started out as a fan of EWA, watching, immediately fell in love and knew I had to be a part of this. So I've always wanted to be a wrestler my whole life. I was waiting for the right place to start. First show I ever saw at EWA, I knew that was going to be my home.
I would definitely say this about EWA, just seeing how much they've grown as a promotion. Frankfurt to Richmond and to Denver. That you definitely see the growth of fans. You see the growth of the talent. You see the growth of the product. And EWA, I've always say, as far as Central Kentucky, not just Central Kentucky, but Kentucky in general, they are a must see promotion.
Yes, sir.
So I'm very pleased with what I've seen for EWA. and I look forward to seeing them grow even further. Y'all can check them out. Their next show is on March 21st at the Jenny Rogers Community Center at Danville, Kentucky. And they are going to be having a show, the All Star Classic, that's coming up in April with some of the notable names I've already put out there. I think it's at Nicholasville.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, it is at Nicholasville, Kentucky. So check them out, Elite Wrestling Alliance, on all social media platforms, and check them out, especially if you're in the central Kentucky area. Danville, like if you live in Lexington, for example, it's about an hour drive. Just go past Nicholasville, just make it past that Nicholasville traffic, and then you're good. Uh, so, uh, what are some shows you got coming up outside of EWA, or are you just fully focusing on EWA at the moment?
As of right now, I've been working at several different places. I mean, you look at an athlete like Kenneth Gainz, and it's obvious that people are going to want me there. Uh, Look at the power I have, look at the size I have, the strength. You don't see too many guys throwing around guys like I do. I mean, I'm here to slam everybody and make money. And I've been lucky enough to do that in several places, and those places are lucky to have Kenneth Gainz, Kenny. I've been doing a lot of work for EWA, obviously, my home promotion, favorite place to work. Other than that, I do a lot of work for Sim Pro Wrestling in Ohio. You can see me there in Norwood, Ohio, at the Norwood Rec Center. That's going to be on March 14th, up in Norwood, as I said, for APW. A lot of good stars up there too. A lot of guys that you've seen on EWA shows before. The Gruesome Twosome, Creed Costello, and Johnny Cisco, Mike Howard, Cutman, Zachary Don. That's another federation that is just full of amazing talent. If you're an Ohio wrestling fan, you really need to make your way out to Norwood. Look them up on Facebook and find those dates. That's a Sin Pro Wrestling. You really can't beat what they've got going on down there. Another great promotion in Kentucky that I've had the pleasure to work for, Appalachian Mountain Wrestling, AMW. Just did their Rumble here in Corbin, Kentucky. That was a great show. A lot of great guys on that roster too, and like I said, same as APW. There's a lot of guys on the AMW roster that you can see there, and a lot of legends in AMW, guys that've been around for a long time. Kyle Maggard runs a great promotion there at AMW. Another place you can catch me at. Um, I've recently got into to talking to some guys at NAWE, which runs out of Nebo, Kentucky. And I won't say much as far as what I've got going on there, but just know that any fans out in Nebo, Kentucky, or followers of NAWE, you might see Big KG there sooner rather than later.
All right, man. Y'all check out Kenneth Gaines coming at you in the Bluegrass State. And he's out there in a Sim Pro Wrestling. Shout out to them. Such an awesome promotion near the Cincinnati area. They do an outstanding job with their shows as well. Um, Check out EWA March 21st, Danville, Kentucky, Jenny Rogers Community Center. Get your tickets on that. And the All Star Classic coming in April the 11th at Nicholasville, Kentucky. They're
Yes,
going to be
sir.
all over the central Kentucky area. They do at least one or two shows a month, give and take. So don't miss out on EWA. March 21st is just a few weeks away. So check them out. And to my fellow Ken, it was nice to chat with you on the show. I can now say that I've interviewed the powerhouses currently of the Ben Sharon brand.
Yes, sir.
So thank you so much for your time. You're doing a really, really good job, man. Keep
Thank you.
going. and a lot of people are gonna know who All Beef and No Filler and Kenneth Gainz. They're gonna be getting familiar with that name, you know.
Get
So
used to it.
yeah, so you take care, man. You have a good night, have a good week, and thanks again for your time, man.
Hey, thanks for having me on, Kenny. You have a good one, man.
Oh, you too.
See you, brother.
I'll take it easy. All right.